Okay, Godfred Nana Sichi Boache. Nana B, yes.
Why the president and not any other position?
Personally, maybe if I made an entertainment chair, maybe the whole will become boring. I think the whole thing has to do with your potential, and then even though I lost last year, I made very good friends out of it. You see, so it was all about just being myself.
What is ahead of you, but you can't see it?
What is
ahead of you, but you can't see it? It is another interesting episode on leadership experience, and my name is Hani. I am your host, and this is Play Plus TV. Today I have the whole of Oguaa Hall, the entire Oguaa Hall in the studios, and we are going to have a very interesting conversation with our president. So do well and join us. Yes, President, you are welcome.
Thank you.
So tell us, what is your full name?
Okay, Godfred Nana Sichi Boache.
Okay, Godfred. So let's start with our growing up story. Where are you from? Where did you grow up, and how was life?
Okay, but I think with a Godfred, people wouldn't easily know. So I'm Nana B, yes. The Nana Boache, yes. Okay, so I'm from the Ashanti region, Ashanti Bekwai, Kukufu to be precise. And I was born in Obuasi. Yeah, I grew up in Obuasi from childhood till when I got to class 1. No, I think when I got to class 4, that was in 2011. But I was living with Granny in Obuasi. So in 2011, I joined my parents in Accra. And then I've been in Accra all this while, even till now I'm still in Accra. Yes, so I think that is something little about where I'm from and then growing up as well.
Okay, almost say ne grannies etna and anwatipa and almost
Oh, I think in a way, because personally, Granny didn't go to school. Granny, yes, she never had education, but then I can still remember how she used to tell me about Kwame Nkrumah, the coup. I think I first of all learned about the transitionings of various presidents from my granny, because she could remember when she was young, and then you would hear that this person has been overthrown, the streets are busy. Yes, so I think she was my first history teacher. Yes, and she piqued my interest in things with governance. Yes, so yes, I think.
So Granny is an inspiration. Okay, so let's move to your educational background. Where did you start your education? Where did you school, from basic school to the university?
Okay, so I think from class 1 to class 4, interestingly, I attended about 5 schools within that space.
Wow.
Yeah. But then from class 4 till I completed, I was in one school, and that was Diamond Hill International. Yes, and I'm always grateful to that school, especially my managers, Mrs. Rose Monakabo Amensa. And from there, I proceeded to Ofueripenin Senior High School in the Eastern Region. And then afterwards, I came to the University of Cape Coast. I read General Science in Ofueripenin Senior High School. And currently, I'm reading Bachelor of Science of Information Management in the University of Cape Coast.
So did you, were you into any leadership way back in SHS or basic school?
Okay, interestingly, I was the first boys prefect for Diamond Hill
Wow.
International. Yeah. We were the first batch, so I think that was somewhere in GHS 1. We were elected school prefects. So I think I enjoyed the professorship for quite a number of years, because from GHS 1 till I completed.
Wow.
Yeah. But in senior high school, I didn't run for an election. However, I was the president of the debate society when I was in senior high school. Yes. Okay. And I think even in GHS, I was also president of the debate and the quiz club as well.
Oh, so it means we are having great people in the studios. You understand? Wow. So what is that one thing that you remember way back in SHS?
Way back in SHS, I think it was that moment. Those 2 moments of one, debate, But then secondly, I remember during an SRC week celebration where I won an inter houses, yeah, that is houses, inter houses quiz for house one. Yes, and then finally it was when I won the most eloquent student in Philippines Senior High School. Because
Most eloquent.
yes, when I went to first year, my one of my school fathers won it. And when I was just there, I was like, wow, which award is this? I'm interested. And when I go to final year, I got nominated for it, I pursued it, and then I won. Those were three very special moments in senior high school.
Wow. So how was your academic life?
In senior high school, okay, it was okay. It was okay. I mean, reading general science, though I didn't have much interest, but it was okay. I wouldn't say I was forced. I think, well, what would be probably if I had another chance, maybe I would have looked at another field. But I think in a way it also helped. It also helped. Yeah, though I didn't have so much interest in it, but it was good.
Okay, so let's come to your political career. What inspired you? What made you, start this career in the first place?
Okay. So the whole thing is that I got the inspiration to run for SRC presidency when I was in senior high school. I used to read about it. I think it was around that time that University of Ghana had their first ever female SRC president. So I got the inspiration from there. So I said to myself, no matter the school I attend, I'll run for SRC presidency. So when I came to UCC, it was in my mind. Yes, and I'm always glad and I would forever be grateful that I was sent to Oguaa Hall. You get it? Yes. So I had that in mind even from first year. So I think from first year, I got a chance to be a floor rep. I was on the hall council. I joined the UCC SRC Parliament, and yes, I think those were three major places that I served in 100. So coming to 200, I decided no, in as much as I want to serve the entire student body, I want to serve my hall first. And then with God on my side, and according to the plan of God, I would take it a step further. So unfortunately, or I wouldn't say unfortunately, yeah, I didn't get it for the first time. Yeah, when I contested for Oguaa Hall presidency. And I still had calls. Oh, you could still go out, but I said no. I need to finish what I have started. In fact, the things I wanted to do for my hall are still things I can do now. So even in third year, I still ran again for Oguaa Hall presidency. So I've had this inspiration since senior high school. I told my parents about this even when I hadn't bought my university forms yet. And we thank God for how far He has brought us.
Okay. So why the president and not any other position?
Okay, so I think the whole thing has to do with your potential and then how well you think you can serve. You get it? So personally, maybe if I made an entertainment chair, maybe the whole will become boring. But probably I could have a couple of ideas on entertainment that when I have someone there can maximize. So I looked deep within myself and I realized, looking at the vision I carried, presidency would be best suited. And then I think the over 4,000 affiliates of Oguaa Hall who have reposed that trust in me. Yes, so I think it was all about, first of all, a self-reflection, two, engagement, advice, and when we put all these together, we prayed and then realized, yes, the presidency would.
You really love, prayers. Everything you pray.
Oh,
That's
sure.
good. Everything God first,
God
right?
first.
Okay, and so now, what are some of the things that, as a president, you and your executives want to do for the hall?
Okay, so there are, in fact, so many things, but we understand that we have financial restraints. But some of the key things on our heart is to complete the Luther Square project for the hall, like give it an ultra-modern look. We would also continue some of the projects that our predecessors began. For example, the tiling project that was started by the immediate past Jack-led administration. the wardrobe distribution project would want to continue. And one thing on my heart, to get a special reading room for students with special needs. These are some of the key projects we are looking at. And for the activities, there are a lot. We may not be able to go into each of them, but I can tell Oguaa Hallers to look out for the first ever academic summit in the hall in the very first semester, among so many other events and activities that we are planning.
We want to know some of the activities.
Okay, so like I said, the academic summits, we are looking at bringing back the interblock quiz competitions, which extended even to diasporans. We are looking at partnering with some health institutions to have some health events. We are looking at bringing intensified training in graphic designing, photography, videography. The Ideal Women's Desk. Next year is actually 5 years ever since we began the Ideal Women Pageantry. And then we are looking to make it really big in the upcoming year. A number of the movie nights are coming, the Premier's Got Talent, and so many other things are coming. So we just plead for their participation and their involvement when time is due.
Okay, so personally, what is your ultimate goal as a president? What do you wish to achieve at the end of your office?
Okay, so I think primarily it's about the impact we create. You get it? So despite all the projects, the policies we want to bring on board, at the end, what would give me that much joy is that people can boldly say that the trust they reposed in me has actually not been in vain, or they haven't regretted that trust they reposed in me. Personally, I want to focus on more things that affect people directly. That is why I want to focus on our capacity building, our skills hub initiative. So ultimately, we are looking at how best we can at least touch that individual life in Oguaa Hall at the end of our tenure. That is the ultimate thing we are looking at.
Okay. Let me ask you this. So the day you saw that you had won, I mean, how did you feel?
I think first of it was a feeling of relief because we had been chasing this for 2 years running. You get it? Going for the first time in level 200, coming again in level 300. And interestingly, the sort of opposition I faced, I am not opponent. The opposition I faced in level 300, where everyone thought it should have been easier, was more than the opposition I faced in level 200. That was the interesting thing. Though I can't go into the details. Yes, so it was like, oh, finally. That's because it was really exhausting. Wow. So that feeling of relief that you see. And then sometimes when you carry that vision, sometimes you even start to doubt yourself. So it was really, basically it was that feeling of relief. Yes, that feeling of relief that finally here we are.
Okay, so how is your social life? How do you get people around you? What strategy? You see, we have people that if they see the president, they can't even talk to the president. So how is your social life like?
Okay, so I think running for presidency and my debates career has helped me because growing up I was that's quite a shy person. Yes, others may not believe. So I think it's all had to be with being myself. You get it? Because sometimes when we are aspiring for these positions, some people try to fake some friendships and all that. Though sometimes it becomes necessary. But then I was just being myself, still the quiet type. However, I'm that engaging, whether online or I meet you in person and then all that. So I think the whole thing was about I was able to form that friendship with them that looked beyond winning or losing an election. Because the good thing is, even though I lost last year, I made very good friends out of it. You see. And so it was all about just being myself. Just being myself. So my social life is quite good. Yes. In fact, everyone in Oguaa Hall is my friend. Wow. At least I can live in that assumption. No, but I know most of them are my friends. In fact, everyone is my friend.
Everyone. very interesting and impressive. I mean, I know there are certain things that you didn't know, and now you know. Yes, from your president. Okay, so before your final words, is there anything that you want to share that I didn't ask?
Um, okay, so I think growing up, it hadn't been easy. We've had our own set of challenges. Before even getting to senior high school, even in senior high school, even coming to uni, there were challenges here and there. And I think on that, I would thank my big sister, the Apostle Mrs.
Do you know that if anyone sees you, they will think you are a dadaba? I mean, do you know that, like, a dadaba, the baby near the day? Wow.
Oh yeah, people think I am, but honestly, I'm not a DB.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I was saying, really thanking my sister, Apostle Mrs. Lillian Kuma. She has really had my back all this while, really been super supportive and all that. So it hadn't been easy, you get it, but regardless, we didn't let go of our dreams. Maybe in some other episodes you could delve more into personal life, the challenges and all that. Yes, it hadn't been easy. That is the truth. In fact, even starting this political agenda, funding everything, it wasn't easy, but God brought help us our way. And I think if I'm permitted, I can mention a couple of people.
Exactly, like we want to know more about you.
I think Mr. Dominic Kabuti Jr., the current UCC grassroots organizer. In fact, God bless him. And then my manager, who left to the UK not long ago, Mr. George Kumi Walker, and then Reza as well. In fact, God brought help us our way. And the thing is that no matter what you want to do, I just believe you should keep hopes alive, because if that is what God has called you to do, you don't need to worry about the how. The how is going to make itself available. I remember when I told my friends in senior high school that I would run for SRC president one day. All that they told me was, hey, Charlie, that thing, it's manual, that the campaign, everything. But then I kept telling myself I was going to run. And here I am as Oguaa Hall President. And I know God hasn't even started with us yet. Yes, there is so much ahead and the journey continues. So no matter what you want to do, it's not about your background, it's not about your current circumstances. Keep hopes alive and then leave the rest to God. Just play your human part. And
so that's wants me to ask, how were you able to fund, these things? Because like you said, it's expensive even to run for a position. And secondly, you have a couple of things that you want to do for the hall. How are you going to fund all these things?
Okay, when it comes to what you want to do for the hall,
yes,
I think that one we are going to deal with the hall budget that we are provided with. But with the funding of the campaign, excuse me, I think the couple of names I mentioned earlier, they were super supportive when it came to those things. Yeah, they were just ready to help me, because I think from level 100, how I got to know these people, became close with them. I got to represent the hall in a number of competitions, helping the hall win our inter-hall debates for the very first time, helping the hall win an inter-hall quiz, the local Nooks inter-hall quiz, and I think in level 100 too, we could win 2 national debates trophies for UCC. All glory to God. Yeah, so I think that was when they took that interest in me, and then they saw this boy has potential, this young man has potential. Yeah, so that is when I got to meet these people, and then through that, they actually championed everything. Yes, so that was how we were able to navigate through.
In fact, you are a blessed child. I can say that. Okay, so before your final words, I'm going to put you on the spot. So your president is going to be on the spot just a little. So you are doing some riddles. just 2. Okay, so the first one is, what is ahead of you, but you can't see it?
What is
ahead of you, but you can't see it?
Wow. The future.
The future. That is great. Yes. So the president is smart. And the second one.
Okay. Wow, I didn't even know I was going to get it.
Wow. So there's this thing that you have but others use it more than yourself. What is it?
You have it.
Yes.
Ta-da! I think for this, I'll take a clue or something.
Okay. This thing belongs to you. It's for you and you alone, but others use it more than yourself.
I think for this.
Okay, so the clock is ticking. 10 seconds more. That is your name. How many times you mention your name yourself? But then you being a president, hey, Nana B. So that is so I got you.
Okay.
Wow, so very interesting segment. So please do your final ways.
Okay, I think this is not just to, first of all, I would really thank the affiliates of Oguaa Hall, yes, and my family who have been super supportive. And my very good friend, in fact, I can't end this interview without mentioning him, David Barboating, who is currently my Chief Justice in Oguaa Hall. Yes, God bless him. In fact, he's a brother I never had. I think one thing I didn't mention, I'm actually the only male child. I have 4 kid sisters, yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sure. So, yes, the brother I never had, like I said, who is now my Chief Justice. So my final words are that the future is exciting. You get it. We just have to trust in God, keep hopes alive. And in all things, we need to trust the timing of God. You know, God always has a plan. God always has a plan. We may not see it, we may not feel it, we may not, it may not be possible, but then we should always keep hopes alive. And God has always got us. But I know for certain, the future is really exciting.
Wow, so aside being a president, he can preach. He is a man of God. I can see that. So guys, thank you so much for joining us on this segment. I know you've loved it and you have really enjoyed yourself. Thank you so much. Keep watching Play Plus TV, and I have been your host. Thank you and enjoy yourself.